And to yet another exciting show is the One King Show, live on all our social media platforms at One King Multimedia. My name is Hetty. And as always, when we come here, we bring you the things you need to keep you going throughout the whole time. And so we bring you compelling content. And you know, when it comes to my panel, well-resourced and well-informed people to bring you all you need to know in the world of showbiz, social issues, and every other thing. And so make a date and stay with us here. We're back shortly. And you know, I don't do the show alone. I am in the studios with my favorite and amazing people, as always. They bring their views and consent on what we have on the table. And so tonight in the studio, I have from my left, Kofi Ansah. What's happening?
Charlie, Hadi.
What's happening? I mean, your girl, I'm always to the
So this is AJ, but you know, you move on.
Okay, and the only lady in the building, Shancy Banks. How are you doing?
Doing well.
You're doing
very great.
Okay. Well, eyelash ni eyeshadow crash say. Okay. It's
natural lash.
We are natural. Young call Cristero Aquaba.
Yeah, me dear. You look good.
Thank you very much. Song review of the week is song title with The Doing of the Lord. That is Dinah Hamilton featuring Mercy Chinwo, released January 15th, 2024. So let's quickly take a listen, and when we are back, the conversation starts.
Tell of your goodness, every chapter of my story. Show how you led me, Lord. I'm the handwriting of mercy by the finger of the Lord. This is the finger of the Lord.
You've been right here beside me, through the fire, through the rain. I didn't burn, I didn't drown, 'cause you were right by my side. I am a living testimony of the goodness of the Lord. Hey, this is the doing of the Lord.
What shall I render? Indeed, what shall I render? What shall I render to you? What shall I render? Say, yeah, I'm in a woman found. And can you? And I'm in a home in my wife. Ay, 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 ay. And I'm in a woman found. And I'm in a yamadum. This is the doing of the Lord. What shall I render? Indeed, what shall I render? What shall I render to you? What shall I render? Hey, I'm in a woman found. And can you? Say, I'm in a home in my wife. Ay, 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 ay. And I'm in a woman found. And I'm in a yamadum. It's like I'm in a home in my wife. This is the doing of the Lord.
And I'm still here, not because of what I did, but this is the doing of the Lord. I am still here, I have life and I am awake, because this is
I am still here. I have life and I am awake, because this is the doing of the Lord. I am still here.
And that's the song beautifully presented to you from Mercy Chinwo and Dinah Hamilton, titled The Doing of the Lord. So let's quickly come into the studios and have a quick conversation on that. But before that, kindly follow us on all our social media platforms at One King Multimedia, and also know that the show is kindly sponsored by One King Natural Mineral Water. Yaka One King Natural Mineral Water, when you say Ayabrim Ponsu. If you want to feel royalty, if you want to have a taste of royalty, then you need to sip on One King Natural Mineral Water. So let me take from Shancy. You've watched the video. Mm-hmm. Even before that, you've listened to the song.
Yeah.
Talk to me about the content, the lyrics of the song.
Okay, let me say thank you to everyone watching us, and thank you to you too for this question. The song is just beautiful, and I love the fact that she featured Mercy Chinwo, right?
Right.
And the part where I really love about the song is that even though she featured a Nigerian musician, she didn't make the whole thing like English. What you see to a point where crowd lady, Nigerian
also spoke Chi.
It is just beautiful, and then it's a way of selling yourself, and then it's a beautiful one day. I'll just say it's a beautiful song. Yeah.
Let's take a look at the video quality, Christian.
I think gospel music or Ghanaian gospel has evolved. And gone are the days when you have gospel musicians, when they have their video, they will just be standing behind flowers and be, they will be sitting in grass. That was what we were seeing. Or they get some beautiful house, they will be standing
in front of the house
or beside the house, and they will be singing and taking.
There's been an upgrade now.
Huge upgrade. And the likes of Dinah Hamilton, the likes of Ohima Mercy, these people have really shown the way. Yes, and it is good. You see, this is gospel. You want to worship the God in the best way you can ever do, in the nicest way you can ever do. God is not that kind of person where you would have to be static, and so because you are talking about God, no flexibility, pampe kind of thing. You can't worship God like that. Gone are the days when you cannot even put on jeans when you were a Christian, or people thought that if you were a Christian you cannot put on jeans and all of that. And things have changed, and I love the fact that the gospel music has changed, especially when it comes to their music video. This is beautiful. And McWillis is a renowned director. Yes, he's worked with various gospel artists here in Ghana, the likes of Nasi, and the videos that Nasi has been giving us. Yes.
Straight on point.
Beautiful video. So McWillis on point, beautiful pictures that I can see in the video. And if you give me the chance to talk about the lyrics, oh my word. You see, Ghanaian gospel has always, most of them have always been as a question. We don't look at the other part where God has done so much for us. Thanksgiving. If you listen to Nigerian gospel songs, it tells you
they are always thanking God all the time.
Yes, they are thanking God. And yet they be an you don't always do that. This is beautiful, and this is what she's been doing. Dinah Hamilton, she gives a lot of thanks to God, and I love this one.
Right, and I love this one coming from Mens Kofi Ansah. Ashe video, it's in lyrics and everything. Let's look at the collaboration, the choice of artists she puts on this one. Mercy Chinwo, Dinah Hamilton.
Sorry. I think ni AR ni yojuma power, because if you want to enter into a certain market, your own coffee you do like and pick one just because a better yanjum. Atmasa say your circular word in power. Bitu market at the time Kamido fa can promise. Or fa me yakunu from that time. Nyenya remix biama undo that level.
Standard no.
Because anytime the area no fail the obey on ejum, because njum na fenti or the ye biara ye fubiana or hate. But it doesn't work that way. So sepeden to be marketed, especially at the time nyenya one renowned artist and Pastor Mwaba the Wabakan Sambia conversation in Nigerian music, Ghanaian gospel music. So sepeden to be the marketer, you just have to go for the best. Intina beyond cerebral Ghana no. But you see obi a street credibility. To say pede to be the marketer. Best thing bit my and the boko for the best person. So all you sky in part or no bit more sell more because the market no so. At matter. So I think ni AR ni yejuma. And it tells you why Diana Hamilton ye ubia ebia alive. Or yet the only female waiting will win artist of the year in the VGMs. It tells the kind of worker or kind of investment with me and extra video quality, extra more costume.
The artist of the year we've had the late Ebony.
No, make it alive. It's like that condition. So it tells the kind of age. So for me, ni AR ni age professor na no you. So Hobu ni team I think they worked very well.
I think they've worked very, very hard. Then this is coming from Kofi Ansah. So that's a beautiful song. Diana Hamilton featuring Mercy Chinwo, The Doing of the Lord. And so you might want to check it out on all streaming platforms, the Spotify's, the Boomplay, the Audiomack, the whatever. And the One King Show is live on all social media handles. That's One King Multimedia. So let's go and take a quick commercial break. And when we are back, we've got amazing things coming your way.
Mineral water, in Poncio. Shashamali says so.
And welcome from that quick commercial break. It's still the One King Show live on all our social media handles at One King Multimedia. My name is Hetty, and I am still here in the studios with my amazing panel. And moving on, we have our lifestyle segments coming up. And over here, we give you the daily tips you need when it comes to health, when it comes to fashion, and every other thing. And today, we're taking a look at how to get rid of bad breath with 5 foods and drinks. Yes, so there are particular food and drinks you can take that can help get rid of bad breath. And so let's quickly get into that because trust me, I know someone somewhere really needs this tip. So let's dig into it. So bad breath is embarrassing, but you can prevent it. While some foods like onions, garlic, and fish cause bad mouth odor, others prevent it. What you eat can be a determining factor between good and bad breath. So here are foods and fruits you should eat if you want your breath to smell nice. So the first on the plate, we have fruit and vegetables. So fruits and vegetables are high in fiber and water, which promotes saliva productions. And that is apples, pear, carrots, celery, and leafy greens are amongst the best fruits and vegetables. Saliva sweeps away food particles and bacteria from the mouth, lowering the livelihood of bad breath. Number 2, we have yogurt. Yogurt, particularly yogurt with living and active cultures, talk of the probiotics, might help decrease the formation of harmful germs in your mouth. For the best result, choose plain yogurt with no added sugar. The International and American Association for Dental Research found that consuming 3 ounces of yogurt every day for 6 weeks reduces hydrogen sulfide by 80%. The third on the list, we have green tea. So green tea contains polyphenols, which reduces sulfur compounds that contributes to bad breath. Drink green tea between meals to freshen your breath and provide and improve digestion. Be careful with black tea, though, as drinking too much black tea can cause a dry mouth, which exacerbates odor. The fourth one, we have spices and herbs. Before chewing gum, people use natural spices and herbs to mask bad breath. Hippocrates, the father of Western medicine, created a mouth rinse using wine and herbs. Herbs like parsley, spearmint, and rosemary can help, while spices like parsley, fennel seeds, and cloves can freshen breath. These can be chewed raw, added to food, or gargled. And lastly, we have water. Water, because germs grow on leftover food in your mouth. Merely rinsing after a meal can help battle bad breath. Drink about 2 liters of water every day. To keep your breath fresh, make sure you are properly hydrated. Water will naturally remove food particles, germs, and other odor-causing particles. So if you constantly eat and drink these, you know for sure that your breath are definitely going to smell better. So that's what we have for you on our lifestyle conversation, how to get rid of bad breath or how to improve your breath. So these are other things you can practice while at home, office, or wherever. So let's quickly go in and take our click bus for the day. To our click bus for today, we're taking a look at the sudden cross-dressing by male content creators to gain traction on social media. We see it all over the place these days. TikTokers, lifestyle influencers are dressing like women. I don't know the motive behind it. So let's quickly delve into that in the next 15 minutes and we move on. We have a lot of things to discuss. And so stay here with us and let's do this together. So, Christero, all of a sudden, the male content creators are now dressing like women. What do you think is the buzz behind this one?
Cross-dressing, I think, has been there since time. I mean, I don't know when it started, but I think it's been there since. And we say cross-dressing. And if you look at dressing, it pertains to a particular society and it pertains to a particular culture. For example, I think if you go to somewhere like Russia, the male put on skirts. Ghana here, yes, once you put on skirts,
you identify as another.
Exactly, you understand. So I think it differs from one place to the other, or to another, I should say. So if you look at what is happening now, I think that it is just for entertainment. Aside from the fact that it's just for entertainment, people at one point in time would want to disguise themselves. That is also another thing that we can look at from the cross-dressing. I don't know if they actually have some level of comfortability in cross-dressing, but purely from where I said, I think it is for entertainment purposes. But in this time and age where the talk of LGBTQ is very loud on social media and everywhere, once you begin to cross-dress, people look at you in a different way. People look at you with a different kind of eye. So if you are an entertainer out there and you are doing that, you need to be also very careful. You need to be very careful how you go about it, because you might not necessarily be part of that group, but people may tag you because you have cross-dressed. But for me, I think it is purely for entertainment. People want to disguise themselves sometimes, and just for the laughs. Sometimes you see the way people have done it and you laugh at it, you understand? And what they represent, the kind of story they talk about, the kind of things they do. Here in Takrade, we have, what's their name? Adazoa, or I forgot. Those two guys, Segua and the other guy. Yes. Look at their names, and the names are even across names. You know, they are male, but they call themselves Adazoa. And typically, we know that Segua is a female name. You understand? It's a name that is given to female. And so you look at what they do and the way they portray themselves, the way, you know, the attitude and everything, the videos that they do. Of course, when they cross-dress, it goes down. It depicts exactly what they want to put across. It makes people understand what they want to put across, and it entertains the people.
Interesting. Before I move over to my other panel, let me ask you. So if it's for entertainment purpose, are you trying to tell me they being men, it doesn't get entertaining enough unless they change the agenda?
No.
Is that it?
I don't think so. But like I mentioned, if you look at the content,
because
they create,
following them on social media,
yes,
the content they put are mostly not promotional content. They are just to tell a story.
Yes.
So now telling a story, you being a man, you can't.
You can tell a story, but you look at the way they also do go about things, the way they tell their story, the way they do themselves like women and all kind of thing. I mean, you cannot put on a male dress and behave like a woman. Certainly, if you want to behave and tell your story like a woman is telling her story, then you need to dress like a woman in a way. Yeah, that shouldn't be the habit anyway. I don't think that if you see them on the street in a normal life, they dress like women or they cross dress. But because of what they portray, what they do on social media, the kind of content they create, I think that is the main reason why they do this. So purely I see it from the entertainment point. You understand? Well, if any other people also have different things about the way some people also maybe they want to create awareness about something. I don't want to go into that. For me, I see it purely as an entertainment stuff.
Okay, Christian sees it purely entertainment. Shancy, imagine we have 100 male content creators and all of them now dress like women. What does the future hold for content creation?
Okay.
For the rest of the men who are coming, who want to also be content creators.
Okay. So, coming to this question, I want to know, there are women or ladies, young ladies. For instance, let me use this girl for instance, Kofi Ansah. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah. The lady with the pink.
Yeah, Amma is a very young girl, but then Amma portrays in her content
As a mother.
as a mother, as an old woman. Is that bad? She honestly, so I bought you're gonna say. I didn't the boom. There, and tomorrow, not their boom. A bonnet. Ye were main far, Messia far, once or so, where you Messiafo, but we'll dress it to them being for their content. We have someone like Ekua official. Sometimes when we dress it to the being, no, I draw why the old man be not creating the content.
Okay, let me cut you off on this one. We're all trying to share our thoughts. Let me cut you off on this one. So mentioning Ekuya official, I'm not sure on the daily she dresses like the man you are talking about.
Exactly.
Right?
So I'll come to that.
It is as and when, right? Okay.
Me what the make for where content creators where kunayo I'm the one didn't love is so real on TikTok or something. These people being or better content will create being acts than a year if the wife wants something from him, the husband. And then he dresses like the wife, wear his wigs and all that. They create content, and the number of followers they have on TikTok, it will just, you'll be amazed. It's honest or banana. So if I see someone dressed like a woman, if a woman can dress like a man and create content, Abenita being dressed to the besia, now so create content. Abenita debia, it is okay with the women, but when men do it, it's a problem. That is my problem. So if a man can dress like a woman and then create content on a normal day, maybe you wouldn't see Wesley Kessie dressed like a woman. You wouldn't see him wearing wigs. On a normal day, I don't think so. But then what my problem is right now is that the fact that everybody is doing none of we this is the Guinness World Record. This is OBREB. This year I get also about movies for hours while we watch at we were. It's as obi yada, although beers on the only and quite the madness or require, or then also by force or do ye be into so until the moon by force of bedam. I will say, Beecham, I by force today be a young quite dressed to the base and we create content so I couldn't also was there dressed to the base. I unique kakra. Into way I into way. But then we have people, we have men that acts like men and create their content, and it's also going. You understand? Into me, I don't see anything wrong with being a man and wearing kabaya slits and doing your content. It's normal. But on a normal day, the man or ta. So I'm not the one problem. On a normal day, I know the besia or artist the besia, or cast the besia the mara. Then I want the problem. I say what attributes I didn't put the gay now. Gay.
Some feel that some of them are using this as a cover up.
You cannot take
it away. You cannot say for a fact. You cannot.
You cannot also rule it out.
Mr. Gay saying
but you cannot also rule it out.
Rule it out.
Yes, some are saying they are using it to cover up.
Since I won't ban on your clan, unless I deny clear. You get it. We have men that dress like obit the what can a Christian dress the being or a gay. I'm telling you for a fact. Or a gay.
What do you mean? Example, and I say, what dressing?
Oh my God.
Okay. Hey, minima there do. Hey, minima there do.
Me say, we address the Christ. What shall be matter here?
What body sabotage her? I said, man,
what I say? What dress it to say Bema? Miss who the muzzles near dear. Or the who bet you shouldn't saw by own few and nephew watch. And Anna Hayford, girl, because Nini Koya example, or be that's that you're going now. Okay, Metia, and I mean who ye, and some more by somewhere moon said the moon, who ye, Christian will be a who ye. What you say into the fact so be addresses son, maybe a problem necessity and a mouth for be a yedo, and then I am a problem. And the other thing I want to talk about is that Obi to say I can't back or share at Arie to say or bar. Sisia or chef frontal
makeup.
Yes. Makeup, no digital markets. No this, no sorry.
All that is content creation.
It is questionable. It is questionable because it's like you're moving out of the line. It's like you're doing too much. And so wow, also what 2 weeks now?
I don't know if a producer can get that video for us. I think there's a video I chanced on as a Valentine's Day. Atare chest I'm like, what story are you telling in this time?
You understand?
Where we have kids all over social media. What's I mean,
it's just too much. Some of them are overdoing. Some of them they are overdoing the whole thing. But you won't call for bank or bet me the weeks ya mom. What's ya? You bet me the week ya mo wash ya. You bet me their mama. Your content creators.
Because I'm trying to understand how attractive can a wig be on a man?
And a man
to let him to let me come and buy.
Now, I didn't say views and on no views, Anna. And my more views. So sometimes it's questionable when they overdo it. But to me personally, I don't see anything wrong with that.
It's sometimes questionable when they overdo it. Kofi Ansah, don't you think, say, as day and time goes by, almost shatari, putting on these stuffs. Some of them do heavy makeup, wear heels, dress like women. For how long would you do this? Like, till when? And we have kids jumping onto TikTok all the time. We have kids owning accounts on TikTok all that, so they see these things. Don't you think a time will come where these kids will see it to be normal? Oh, my favorite content creator dresses like a woman. Why can't I do same? Don't you think a time is coming, it will be so normal that we won't be able to control things? All in the name of content creation and social media.
I think best start will be a Shancy na you.
Okay.
There be a intimate ruling out they be a way.
And they are just covering up, yeah.
Because why do be Sakura, so you may see the person as innocent. Name will be a wide dread or a bad man. But actually, I wonder why that why Sakura no. Nyama why your papers nature no. I want to wear you scan and yama no. So intimate can be idea na day. And it good and yama young social media. At masa, you need now social media and phone you kita me maybe be our do. My website maybe be our phone do. So phone kita no. Obetum why business among obetum why liability. How edible use of phone no depend more on kasa. So be believe there the more content no betum one man and numbers and right now be a numbers game on social media. At masa. So we believe that the me no betum one man and numbers no so team when you gig no when you sikabla on your illegal it's okay. At Masa, everything becomes okay. The problem becomes like all your concerns. I don't know what they call outside social media. To them, I do ebien hundo diginadi and all that. I don't bear some way. But once all your social media,
because I think say Shefela Tamale or share cabanet slate in Boduku need the bag in Shanamotum to Tamale. I'm like, okay, fine. We all know you to be this. Do you now identify as this publicly? That was what I was asking myself.
So on you be no fault. Intimate sound and blame will be the why they were the madam. Now, there'll be a question be the more family about social media and all that. That is when I am cultural policy in Beijing. But you need be as a country. The last time I what the proposal was 2004. 2018 I went to another committee to review the objectives of up to now. Went to pass it, so set now. Say why they are in California, Canada, or ban TikTok and all that. So, cultural policy near Juma or solve them issues. But I'm Marco to move phone, my Toma band. Now we create more content. Once on your illegal and the intimate blame will be and or a social media game or a numbers game. It is your content creating on don't share your problem. It becomes a problem once and pa kon way ye for social media because actually baby one day DJ as on tone de no on your social media and cutting like
Everywhere
odruko baby
shows.
so oban the man don't why they only why concern kakra but these TikTokers no aside the bone one day what they create one content no so what birthday parties bumpo e wonder what dress normal the last time na Crystal Ray Abokuma and Segua Michelle on what another party be they no address no matter
I've been to a party
even
with them
Miss
at
West
the
Western Music Awards.
Western Music House red carpet no address them myself wo you know we change one so or your content will create or your one brand aside brand no or personal life will live saying to and differentiate two now no your concern but saying who the matter now I don't think there's a problem.
I don't think there are a problem. I chanced on a video Akonoba. He was dressed like a boy. But you can see in the video that something is missing. He wished to be that person. He was dressed in jeans, hoodie, but he still looked feminine. Don't you think the gradual use of that brand they are creating, that shadow will fall on them? A time will come, be a permanent thing like. How to say no. And you see, these things become the beginning of. I have feminine traits. Looks like I identify as a woman. I have feminine traits. Looks like I would have been created as a woman. Then it starts from there.
Sisiano, what pass a bill no? Into no say Elia na de kokodro painting from kodro. That's the whole thing. Elia is a fin I wouldn't know. Elia. E de kodro what there Sisiana e pede that way activist for LGBTQI ain't from kodro Ghana. I did to fear na kwata be for. That's so we didn't Ghana didn't look difference it because I can't so paper bet show it wa body. Etasa. Into Elia na de kodro the ain't and yen from kodro because it's our pass bill no. Into said I'm the one arguing one na we sounds arguing who be. But apart from that today and or your number because I'm Wesley Kessia, nice guy.
Yeah.
On them way bad bitch Agata. But I mean, he's a nice guy when he dresses and goes out. Yeah, so it's
the way you mentioned he's a nice guy. He's a nice guy.
Okay, all right, crash the spirit.
She said that for like.
I'm jealous.
Actually, but I'm assuming to have you.
Chris, we know your example.
Example. There be also on person example. How can you
choose nice? How to see away? Now we give for example. The other example. As I'm an king.
One King Show live on One King Multimedia. Follow us on all our social media handles at One King Multimedia. And the show is proudly sponsored by One King Natural Mineral Water. Locate our main factory at Cancer Road and the main depot at Piper, not next to King's Furniture. Contact us on 0544 186703 or 0207 555 646 or 0244 248348. One King Natural Mineral Water, a taste of royalty. Let's go for a quick turn, and when we are back, we have the big conversation coming up.
Mineral water up in Poncio. Shashamale says so.
Come back from that quick commercial break. It's still the One King Show live on all our social media handles at One King Multimedia. Now back to the big conversation on the plate. We are taking a look at the evolution of gospel music, and also more centered on gospel music from its origins to the present day, the correlation between secular artists intertwining gospel themes with their music and the traditional gospel music or musician. And joining us in the studio very soon is one gospel influencer. He's all over the place. He carries the cross of Jesus Christ. But before he joins us, let's come here and talk to my people. So let me pick it from Shancy.
Okay.
Let's look at the evolution of gospel music, the change from the time of Cindy Thompson, Amy Newman, Daughters of Glorious Jesus,
Tego Sisters, Pastor Joe Beecham,
Bobobra. And let's look at now the Joe Metals, the Kesebrin Porn, the new school. MOG,
Dinah.
yeah.
PSC.
Let's look at the evolution, the change, the dynamics that has played from those days till now.
All right. Hetty, there be a young for say me bo gospel, and I say gospel ye general. Gospel. So what kind of gospel like gospel ye nyame nasem.
Right.
Into gospel music ye nyame nasem a edro to nyum edatre ame me teach you. Into say ye gospel musician ye sofo. A gospel musician, a represent nyame
Messenger.
A messenger. Inti Erica nyame na some eda tremo, but or you through enyum. Inti eti obine nyuma, otima e sacra.
Right.
Etim te obine nyuma, otima enya depression a oma efidame te bianimu.
Yeah.
Etim te obine nyuma enwude oma life be kwabi bawumu. Inti say a gospel musician, na say won nyuma na ereto no. Say mintim on carry any kind of spirit. Me when they earlier secular music.
I feel.
Me when they earlier secular music. But see, I know I draining you now. Say today dinner boy enkane today Cindy Thompson, Emmy Newman, Pastor Beecham, na them kofuni na. She yan kan no kwara brabo ye timu day. Hanama fomo. Say if nyum be today. Sister boyfriend and Bennis. So you see, my brother, the
right,
life is so short. It passes so quickly, but soon as for the mean. Then I make gospel, Western gospel was when I said the cocoa farmer, my son, or gospel, minimum that. What more club? That's how they are someone in there be up not shredded. No, tell me.
Okay.
Up at the not shredded. Met to a club, cocoa from there. There's one leg to the left. But that's what they be. But minimum that make quite. Tiye no boy me say hey na tiye that when you obey that was gospel na me if you had it no was so gospel Jesus and you me a gospel I mean you me da sister inti efa the menu me it say about the morning there and kwa no also I short inti be for nyame for ne sisi aro Sunday
but
Jesus din wo
but say go farmer me Drew baby I say what be your problem? I say God go do one.
Oh no meant won do what that mo club na me to do
so
what
that so one mbo hore wa club ho
I went to Wombo. Tell me why. Because you be oh the people know me obey viral pa radimi free. I don't know and you be by my na club and na wobo. Na ko me we free me pada me can
or gospel tune.
Or your gospel tune. Echo club wobo. Da man no. Hey, oshim da men cake. Na club wobo me exas do your gospel nyum na worry bo meditate wa club ni mu no nti am to do a wombo what be your problem dey but make the do oyanyum bo no massam America na dey the menu me say ame mete wo na say the eminu ma na nyum edeba say me mo brosu na ka for the menu me edeba abede pa amoye de pa na carry yankopon spirit Missing you what it say ya sister no matter the situation you are in no
ebon be aye
ebon there sister ehia sakrai wa brabo yi mu because abrabo na ye wo no fine sometimes say nipa we fall short but then sister ye hia nyame inti no say ehwe the menyame na e de compare efeminu mananyom na say de compare in there yen gospel menka the one yard efa Pastor Beecham no nyom e de compare the one way your gospel one nyoma you can see difference. Esther Smith no nyom at the compare and one away gospel you can see the difference. What are you telling me? In someone of what nyum probably ebia video na what yen the time maybe we need good cameras maybe sister no John was of flowers no actually sisi kakra no John or to nyum kakobe just stiff them I them was watch it bandai but sisi no obi atimi so people to me trousers Joyce bless to me shine trousers wash and cake at asa quality video a PSS and then you may announce your boy then you want answer boy e video hu the sika kom nti ebia onene enyama rowa ebeka the wasasa wo gospel enyum and the lyrics no and the spirit enyum no carry no
what they eba no evolution what they lyrics
lyrics
video no
lyrics no I wanna know America dey one I wanna know first know where your gospel no ada sisi ade no wasasa na dey ebia beat enyama horo wa ba beat ma instrument what kind of instruments afofra wo bo what dey beat na ade na no keka won on enyama ebia wasasa ewo ana enyama first na woni baka sisi ade no wodi twewonimu but some ele kind of lyrically I'm telling you that first for no one on your mono or carry spirit is in there. And everybody say everything and me on famo. I'm a American American. First, a Newman into action is your obia there. It is business because the narrow was there or there a day it's
your commercial enough.
It's a business. But the Bible says, seek ye the kingdom of God first and all these things. Matthew 6:3. 9.
41.
But that's why I'm mentioning some later. It's no say what shall I say first. I mean you money wa no bad. Gene honom o catch in there up till now onya royalty that.
Na aswara
sister also or your member. Me
say me name that gam we renew every year be we renew ana
mama the time no about no so no one can say but then what can same be na the inti me man ka some person me money also e me new no nya enso no so ba no so nya
e be we me new one for be
I don't know but then she came there and she said this and I remember this very very well. I don't know say she and what starts there whatever I can't tell but I remember this very well. We have people in the music industry or gospel industry first and with the 1G award that on your one that so award but then they are still in the table sisters where on bed their president it's I'm gonna make sure that say area meeting can wa ordinary anymore. Na say sure the nyame na adwuma na re ya ampa no ya wo wan kasa personal gains na ehwehwe. I'm telling you for a fact. And when you ma himfa na onkwan. Himfa na onto kwan onkwan na the himfa na onkwan kobo nyame nyom ho. Even though sisi and wenyim, even though sisi be on vibrant, but still ne hu ntwem. Pastor Beecham ne hu ntwem. Inti say the dam nyama meeting can na sister. Enyama bokoye oda man. Rather than then na ne ben business. It's good though, but then
Kofi Ansah, yan share yene gospel industry first no how ana wanenyamate although we bakado those days na social media nyi ho intina ehunye maybe na the CC na social media wa ba nka it could help them push their craft and all that no. Let's look at what the new ones are using social media to do and let's look at how the old ones could have used social media for.
Okay, ada only what they sometimes new use in bed
right
so a gospel nankasa wa evolve over the time from Ebia from Kofi Ansah and all that Mark Abraham these people Obeya ya Sapon Tego sisters Obeya Bodo Esther Smith one aboda wa aba nenima we bodo baby edolin and music nankasa ko nenim anytime be obi kero them artists time or ye day they na me penasam say I miss them old version of the artist orchestra minonjum dada ono. It's simple as that. Anytime be about these conversations me academy agenda man academy controversial I don't care but truth is music is business now. Inti say be artist bo na so ohwe ne back end and ohwe ne demographics no be ndo okay and when I would say monjum nankasa dodo na e bia from age 18 to 27
okay
these people say that type of amabo ahema no njum na no ye na obi no be stream and my count several times there these digital platforms no they are the way now say obi no njum kita be 10 million streams a radio station ni choice be the bobo
right
so they are the way now until say pede e making it bigger that is the avenue or therefore now these platforms and so they have places to sell until you for phone say boy some digital platform you be okay artists being a picture the or artists being or playlist these are places that you fight for you page for until say edenjuma unfit in their category at the bar one fact. This is why even when be said when you made them a tune call ebia them distribution platform na them one obaka or they fill them forms they said dokwa because they be afrobeat na wabado o be alien so when you na shut and fit in that category bed do be playlist until this time around say ehwe gospel na wabasa make the bo gospel songs are oba ebia 2023 a ebia bo baseda e bo victory ehwe damunjum ni na message ni ya one. It's all about praises and adoration. These yankopon na my day na maswe na mboa na my day these things no happen nti I don't know why evolve nti with advent of social media and digital platforms no wa boa me yan artists we do certain stages bia nanka first no wontim nduru ho because it's a baby a Joe Metal needing work on men kede bia no ndwom ye better than I wanna wo ba first no but ebia ya usapon needing nduru ho that doesn't mean the Joe Metal ye better than no But with the advent of social media and ne advantages okita no, wabo me do certain stages.
Okay.
These people no me it be some question about Shancy there na ye ma me minimum why register with Gamroa. Answer no the internet and obi no bit more answer na no nim, but meeting my catch up for a fact there your artist baby okrom ade ya wonim po there sound kasa what perform on stage still what royalties. They don't know ebia made in tidy. Then Kofi Kinata course I will say artist na ba na perform 110 na perform na kasa Kofi Kinata although to royalties or the magambo na what them. But yen artist do not win. So once I perform, so that's it.
And these are people who make noise a lot about Gamma not paying them.
At the end, no back there, woman is car, program went mind you, Gamma or your CMO or your collective management organization. Why the yet na day, Crystal Bay submission, Shancy Bay and then Bay Medi. You are a website or back at okay, Crystal submission near fine. Into there is a story, near to one king, a royalties. Or bar. One king and watch okay, Crystal ye did until obedi be 50% or obedi 60%. So chine bi na some rich him. Na so when two one face can be am back at the I na ye show I don't know one man be, but I show my scan or Crystal there because no submissions. So this is what Gamro does. Inti say enim dam nyama ni ne be blame wonder why. Inti yen social media na wa ba no yen painful nim. The only thing waiting why in there they should employ these moframana wenim social media the way they run because Dad Lumba on social media, he's very active. Yeah. And I can tell you for a fact that Yan or run social
someone
media.
Someone doing the job.
Obu which I'm Obi no ye Posha that Ganena Posha Boatin.
Yeah, Posha Boatin.
The publicist. Some minimum on a personal level at Massa. Into the man identity. Yeah, or from away the Yamani 90. Social media no pushing him. A bisa music market be betting work actually day. Since I pay market one jom nanka so social media. Se pede don't my digital platform we be so promotional platforms ebi am the boko the last time na edam record baby we be said am ebi am the boko radio stations be 10 TV stations be 5 we promote on Nigeria okay one jom the way we promoting to go be streaming more times see more bigger platform or yen platform no so that we streaming more and so yen 30% and yen 10% no obey more these things no say enuma abeka the si say yebonjuma wonfa why the way in painfulness in chen mo from na le bia wobonjuma wo stream but nyama o de eye no enye nti se nim dam nyama na o de ehwe obi obetim wo abo in that field nti na why o yam de yama me new man wo kitan ko obeti de bramens no ma they know the market they know the terrain obetim we push one jom ni na say obetim wo plug one jom ni na certain way sentiment that doesn't mean the one jom ni yo and or a market or a business. The last time na sister and sister the na first no one more born or carry spirit or carry the stone or carry spirit. Na them one party left to the rest side yeah. SO party as so spirit in kick one can so njumbi beti
and you man master but
don't you think because of the spirit
now epidemic on the spirit
papa it's about the first no one bass than you man
ade bi no obo move
and okay that
no move myself
I don't move why you no bibi move man stand and you no
echo party as njumbi obobo na beso in as much in circular no njumbi na obobo beso
in spirit no
in as much as so no njumbi wa word to me that one side like a crazy cry
fine but then we are talking about nyamena sem wa hade
nyamena sem internet message wait
yeah in secular
wait see market
me wanna say me so na me nyimpo do gospel
see me tell me catch the see market mo wa ye no se bet na wona ye dem tetenjum ayo honjum obi like
Shancy what you're saying
I am telling
Shancy Aboche Kofi Ansah, let me ask you your definition of areware hona and yom dada or like as in what's your definition to that
that's it njum oye soro team that wale etana
what do you mean by soro team
exactly what are you saying
more borusun yemide
tell me what borusun is that the only song you are telling
me allow him to explain himself
say if these artists and everybody one njum na ebetim afa from ebia Daughters of Glorious Jesus said about phobia ne catalog na fanjum ebia be 20-30 ebon de 70 to 80% yanjuma will be say rade don ye bibi mo hon na for current artists no one ndwom ebon there 80 to 90% one ndwom no or the yame asma wa ya ma hon.
So for you feel social media has challenged them to do better?
Anti market no dem na why you music no your business anytime you make dey say kada dey passion once after mic out on ndwom no or your passion you are fulfilled. Second ndwom your passion you are fulfilled.
Hetty, that is why I'm saying that they are more into business than what they call the gospel. And that is the truth. Nobody should undermine that, but they are more of business. Because the gospel is God's words.
So
and it
Shancy, to
it
you,
carries thanksgiving, it carries it carries all these things.
Shancy, so to you feel they have lost the main motive why they are doing the
I
gospel?
am telling the
one
gospel
losing motive
truth.
they are wait one thing
Well,
they be one thing they be an necessary market and why the necessary go music or your business on yendo marketing na one sign it's back to the marketing is different now but music na cause your business na watch it na you know in 2008 now gospel artist fraternity na cause one VJ Merokona gospel artist say the all your business and yeah jometim one about do na say watch it but I ain't na fair na adwon nko and right down that they can't fit in because they are kind of songs that were here that time no won't me fit into the market now my Ghana why me read why like your pendulum get that year like video you push your content to the mic for the my honjum na about a pashe old art look nice thing I share Star Smith no jumo release new one na fa compare ni old songs no you the difference near vast share a new man current song or the bay na fa compare the last njomo oye even the difference near vast so the market is changing you need marketers obetu another ARs obetu catch no you feature them artists oboboa yeah them content oboboa see you push njume the file oboboa until we okay na gospel artists the why then they or your market you have to beat it to get your songs out there.
Or your market you have to beat it and get your songs out there, and that is coming from Kofi Ansah. Let me quickly roll over to Cristero.
You see, the argument even in the past has been the fact that people have been asking this question: is gospel a genre? That has been a question which is as old as...
So to you, how do you think it should have been called?
The gospel. Gospel is gospel. Yes. But, I mean, it's a question that has been there, and it is as old as time. And what is genre? Genre has a particular style with a particular language, like reggae, funk, high life. But, there is, it toes a certain line. If you look at gospel, gospel has different styles put together. So you have gospel reggae, gospel high life, gospel whatever. So I think that it is up to you to know where you belong to. That is where I am coming from. Because as far as I am concerned, the word gospel, which is the good news, is talking about Christ, the death, the resurrection of Christ. Any other thing that falls out of this, you can call it a Christian music.
Okay.
Because we have songs that people listen and it inspires people. People listen to some songs and they get motivated. It pushes them and all of that. So I am looking at it at in a very bigger, a bigger conversation that there are Christian songs, there are gospel songs, because gospel strictly talks about Christ. The life of Christ, the resurrection, the death of Christ, and the resurrection of Christ. That is the gospel, according to the Bible. You understand? So those other songs that mention God and probably inspire people, we can call them Christian music. But let us look at how gospel song has evolved over the time. In fact, we need to understand the fact that globally, and Kofi went there, globally, the sound of music has evolved.
Right.
Yes.
And every genre.
Yes, and gospel music is not an exception. So we should understand it from that point, that globally, songs, the sound of music has evolved. Now, in Ghana here, if you look at it, gospel music began long ago with the likes, and Kofi mentioned some names. The Ahinsan Happy Gospel, Brother Siama, and his Somnyame gospel band, Professor Kofi Abraham, Mark Abraham, Wafasumeni, Comfortano. These guys started a gospel, and they were doing indigenous Ghanaian gospel music with the Yaponsa kind of strings in them, typical Ghanaian music. And then that evolution came where Ghanaian gospel artists try to fuse in foreign, style of gospel music, because they were getting inspiration from gospel artists, from time. I mean, worship gospel. I mean, foreign gospel artists, like those gospel artists coming from integrity music, like Don Moen. They were getting some inspiration from them. But even with that, in the early 80s, there were other artists that came in, like I mentioned, with a fusion of some foreign music style. You understand? So you look at Tego Sisters, Benny Sofe, Emi Newman, Nana and Dan. If you know their song, that song, Choboy, that song, it was produced by Zach Mallet.
Okay.
Yeah, Nana and Dan. You see that evolution. So we have now moved from Professor Kofi Abraham. You see that kind of, it moved from there. Then we came to that side where you have the likes
reggae,
of
reggae
Nana
style.
and Dan, Mary Gansa. These guys were also in the system. Stella Seal.
Yeah.
Formerly,
Stella Dugan.
Yes.
Those times.
Yes.
Yes.
Stella Seal came in. And these were Yao Sapon. They came, it evolved, and then that group also came. And then we had another evolution where other artists also came in. That was when they also picked from the likes of integrity music, like Don Moen style. So gospel music over the years, especially here in Ghana, has gone through evolution. And it will still go through evolution. It will still evolve. The world is not static. The world keeps changing. Things will change. What we do today, I mean, in the past, you wouldn't see things like this.
Right.
How many TV stations were in Ghana? How many radio stations were in Ghana? But things have changed, and that is exactly what is happening here. And the world has changed. Things have changed. So I was telling you, even here in Sekendi Takrade, there was this church, Holy Fire Holy Fire Church, and we had Pastor Ofori Chumesi, and under Pastor Ofori Chumesi, that was where Pastor Joe Beecham evolved. And this man, anytime he travels outside, whenever he's coming back to Ghana, he will buy the CDs of Don Moen. He will play in his church, and the gospel musicians, they will learn how to sing that. So it got into them. So they started making their music in that kind of way, that style. For me, the evolution has been there. It will continue to be there. So, like I was saying, Joe Beecham, them came in, and from there now we have the Kwesi Otins, right. The likes of Akase Brempong, the likes of Joe Metal. They also have their style. You understand? And the style of your song need to resonate with the people that listen to your song. But let us not deceive ourselves that, in fact, even now, young people like to listen to old gospel tunes. I am telling you, there was a time, on X, Kofi mentioned that woman's name, Esther Smith. She was trending. And it was the argument was about between her and another gospel artist who had the biggest songs in Ghana.
Mama Esther.
I think so. I think it was Mama Esther, and they were asking which of the two had biggest songs. Some were saying that she's all-time, gospel artist and all of that. I was shocked, and they delved into her archives, bringing in those of her old songs. Esther Mwakun. I mean, people still listen to those songs. I tell you, people don't let us deceive ourselves. Even young people, they love to listen. I love to listen to those songs as well. Glory, I mean, Daughters of Glorious Jesus.
Yes.
I mentioned her name, Abasil, Stella Abasil, Mary Ganses. I still listen to their songs.
I still listen to their songs. This is coming from Cristero. So the conversation doesn't end here. Let's flip, and when we are back, the part 2 of it continues. And joining the big plate conversation is an artist, manager, consultant, gospel podcaster, gospel influencer, gospel pundit, my heartbreak comforter. Titles in it also. I know you know who I'm talking about. So joining us in the studio this evening is Mens. He has a very nice name, but I don't know why he has decided to stick to Mens alone. So let's quickly come and talk to him, and he will introduce himself properly because according to him, titles on Ewa. So let's quickly join him in the studio, and then we will take it from there. Mens,
Hetty, Midasi.
Anytime I see you, I'm happy. You know that.
I'm happy to bring joy in your life.
That's it. So now, spell out your titles.
Hey, what are titles are?
I want the listeners, the viewers, to know that I haven't left anything out. So maybe there's more to be added. So please furnish me with them.
Okay, so as you said, no, I'm an artist manager. Yes, and I'm also a consultant. And I do other things too.
Like?
Things. Oh, me a farm in Kakra.
Okay.
I do property management. Kakra.
Property management. That's where the money is.
Oh.
Okay.
That's
entrepreneurship.
Yes.
Okay.
And me shoes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I do a lot of things. I do a lot of things.
You do the shoes yourself?
Yeah, I have
people
who
trained
do it for me. So
that's
yes,
nice.
BK shoes. Yes,
BK shoes. Yes, we'll get a picture of that so that our viewers will know the amazing job you are doing with BK shoes. So let's quickly roll into the conversation on the table. So the correlation between secular artists intertwining gospel themes with their music and the traditional gospel music or musician. But before that, we had a conversation on our ClickBus that is, the sudden crave of male content creators now dressing like females for traction on social media. You want to share your little sense on that, and then we'll move on.
Hetty, I have a lot of things to say about that, but because of time in tea, I'm not really going to go too much into it. But you see, I listened to the panel members say that yes, it's content and all. Yes, nobody disputes that fact.
Right.
But you see, there's a thin line between endorsing certain agendas that we need to look at. Whatever be the case, cross-dressing has been in the system from way back.
Time.
You understand? But why is it that recently it has become like a very normal thing for people to do? I mean, at first, in our society here, it will be very difficult to see someone dressed as a woman, even in the normal society. But you see now, because of the normalization of that cross-dressing character, now you go to events, you see people dressed, men wearing wigs, men wear ladies' clothes, and society kind of looks like them that we are celebrities, we are influencers, they are endorsing certain brands, whatever. Look at what is happening in Bobrisky. I mean, he's basically living his life like a woman, but he's a man. You see, nobody has the right to say that don't do this. Nobody has that right. You can do whatever you want to do. But you see, when we are slowly endorsing a trend that is going to harm our society, we need to look at it. I had a personal problem with the Western Music Awards.
Having those two on the red carpet.
Yes, when I was like, yes, they are funny guys. I mean, I understand the concept of what they want to do. Can they do it any other way not to endorse that? Because right now...
What do you think they're endorsing?
I mean, they are endorsing the LGBTQ agenda. For me, that's how I see it. Any man, any woman who dresses like the opposite, one way or the other, you are endorsing that agenda because it falls part it falls into that bracket, that agenda. So you can be doing it for content, but subtly you are endorsing it. So I think we need to be careful how we accept and normalize some of these things. See,
Right.
we will continue normalizing it. Oh, and yes, share content, and yes, share content. Then you realize that now social media is all over. Children are on social media now. If you watch this agenda that they are pushing, if you watch cartoons, you see it in it. You see it in cartoons that you and I used to watch at first, that it was very harmless. Now you watch those cartoons and you see subtle themes of this LGBT thing inside. So now, what is to stop a kid growing up and seeing a social media influencer, someone who is loud, someone who is endorsed by many, dressed like a woman when the person is a man, dressed like a man when the person is a woman? It gives that child that knowledge and that idea that, oh, it's okay, you can do that.
can also do
as
the
long
same.
as this person can do it, you can also do it. So
Right.
let's not normalize and make it okay. I mean, if it is wrong, it is wrong. That is the influx of Western culture and agenda into our system. So that is what I have to say about that. Whether we like it or not, it is not something that we should encourage.
Whether we like it or not, it is not something we should encourage. So let's quickly go into the conversation.